Happy Monday, everybody. The art of the deal. Sweeping tariffs against Canada that were set to take effect in just 7 hours are now off the table after President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau moments ago reached a deal. The two leaders finished a call in the last hour, a good one, according to Trudeau, that led to promises of securing the border in exchange for a pause of tariffs for 30 days. In a post on X, Trudeau wrote that, quote, Canada is implementing a $1.3 billion border, reinforcing the border with new choppers, technology, and personnel. He also says nearly 10,000 frontline personnel are and will be working on protecting the border. That followed an earlier deal today with Mexico that pauses a 25% tariff on all goods for a month. For them, averting the showdown required a promise to send 10,000 troops to the border. The 10% tariff on all imports from China, however, is still in place. You basically needed a dose of Dramamine to keep up with how it all impacted Wall Street today. The markets plunged, then recovered, and then dropped slightly again. All major indices closed in the red. The Dow down about 100 points, but at one point it was down nearly 700 before Mexico reached a tariff deal with the U.S. So, how did we get here? Trump says the taxes are a response to the flow of fentanyl and immigrants coming into the U.S. from our borders. Beyond that, we know that Trump abhors the idea of America getting suckered. The fact that European and Asian countries have been tariffing American products with impunity for decades clearly sticks in Trump's craw. We've got a lot to get to in this hour. In just a moment, I'll speak with Republican Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. And after that, an expert will break down how the tariffs and on China will impact you and your pocketbook. But we begin with NewsNation's Robert Sherman now, live for us at the White House. Robert, just moments ago, this was announced. What do we know about the conversation? It was the second today between President Trump and the Prime Minister of Canada.
Things moving fast here, Elizabeth. We certainly live in a different world here at 5 o'clock than we did at 9 this morning. And now we're looking at a situation in which the president just got off the phone with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, in which you saw this agreement being struck here. He gave indications to members of the press after that Florida Panthers media event that he just had that it was a good call and that to watch and see what would be coming here. And now we see the outcome. This is what the White House was looking for, is the important distinction here, Elizabeth, is that they wanted to get some kind of agreement on border security. That was the goal that they were seeking, not necessarily the implementation of tariffs. And now you see that there's going to be more negotiations to come. That's the other element here is that this isn't necessarily a done deal for the long run. There will be more conversations when it comes to national security, border security, trade equity over the next 30 days with both Mexico and Canada. But we did ask the White House about this today. You know, for those Americans out there who are worried about the possibility of tariffs coming down at a later date or still being used as a negotiating tool with other countries, this is what the White House had to say. Take a listen. Caroline, what do you say to Americans who understand the president's negotiating strategy and understand the goals that he's trying to achieve with tariffs, but are worried they're going to get caught in the middle of this and feel the pain potentially in the short term or even long term?
They won't get caught in the middle if they just comply with what the United States is asking for, which are very simple measures to work with us when it comes to border security, to cooperate with the repatriation of their nation's citizens. You saw President Trump effectively utilize tariffs when he was negotiating with Colombia last weekend as well. Ultimately, they conceded and agreed to the deportation flights that many of them have landed in the last week.
So the White House has been very confident throughout this whole process, every step of the way, but still more conversations to come with all these nations. Elizabeth?
Right, and important to note that's just a 30-day pause on the tariffs to Canada and Mexico. All right, Robert Sherman from the White House today.
Right.
For more. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.